Is WWE 2K20 on PS4 worth your money? You're about to find out.
Oh, there were the opponents.
What the? Why are they attacking these guys? I don't get it.
I'm sure they have a very valid reason.
What's up, everybody? Fred Richani, TSC, your home for WWE 2K news updates, reviews, and everything in between. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I'm here to give you guys my thoughts on WWE 2K Standard Edition on the PS4. This installment features a male and female MyCareer mode, which is pretty new, and it is centered around the legendary Four Horsewomen. When you turn on the game and you see the new menus, which feature entrances and gameplay footage, you quickly realize that while this is a PlayStation 4 game, this damn sure does not look like a PlayStation 4 game. This year more than ever is more apparent because not only does it lag behind current top games on the market, but it even lags behind WWE 2K19. You look at the hair physics. Poor Bianca Belair, it looks like she's not carrying her ponytail, but a loaf of bread that's superimposed as a ponytail. It is horrific looking. The faces look derpy. The women who have always gotten a raw deal when it comes to 2K look especially bad, and hopefully they're paid double for their troubles. And then you have the likes of The Rock, who have historically been pretty accurate and good-looking character models. And here we have this guy. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know if it's just... This looks like The Rock's stunt double. You also have the weird belt physics, the hair, as I mentioned. There's an arena, the Raw 98 arena, which you could play in MyCareer and as an exhibition. And it just looks crappy with this filter that you can't take off. And I know they've had filters before when it comes to old arenas for that smoky arena effect. It's supposed to be cool. It's supposed to make you feel like you're in 1998 or 2000 or whatever the case may be. But it just does not look great at all. And normally I would say, you know what? If a game doesn't have the best graphics or the shiniest graphics, maybe it's the art style. Maybe they lowered the resolution a bit to add even more content. But unfortunately, that's not the case here. This game straight up just looks plain bad. It doesn't even look like an Xbox 360 game. It doesn't even look like a PS3 game. It looks more or less like a PS2 game. And not good. Not good. Although the bright side is, I guess, with these crappy graphics, is that the loading times have significantly improved. So there you go. Ugh. Now, as far as the cornerstone of 2K sports games, MyCareer, let's just say this does not measure up to NBA 2K's MyCareer mode, which historically has featured some great voice acting, some great graphics, some damn good challenges. And yeah, at times it can be a little bit of a hit or miss, but more often than not, it is a top-notch product. Not here. You have characters that are absolutely unlikable. I mean, the biggest freaking losers in the world. I don't care if you're somebody that's been bullied, you were the bully, you were somewhere in between. You can all universally agree after watching this cutscene that these protagonists should likely be antagonists. Take a look.
Get my own action figure, become WWE Divas Champion. Is this some kind of WWE nerd vision board?
Hey, being immortalized in semi-posable plastic is the greatest thing a human being can achieve.
Don't ever touch our stuff again.
What, like this?
That was a huge mistake.
Oh no, I've unleashed Hothead Red!
I'm gonna take that marker, bring it to your grandmother's nursing home, and cross out parts of her chart so when the nurse goes to give her turn-down service, she won't know to flip her over. That's right, I'm gonna give your grandmother bed sores.
What is wrong with you?
Calm down, deep breaths, maybe we can talk this out.
I'm done talking.
Not only has this dialogue been written in Vince McMahon's dreams of how he apparently sees wrestling fans, but this is dialogue that is cringeworthy that made me damn near turn off the game. On top of that, the graphics somehow look even worse in these cutscenes as opposed to the actual gameplay with the normal superstars. The mouths barely move in the cutscenes, and they barely move in 2K Hub when you're going to talk to AJ Styles.
Just this morning, I was thinking about that time we faced each other in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Man, that was brutal.
The hair physics are horrible, much like the rest of the game, but especially bad in MyCareer. You have the horrible commentary as well.
What did she expect was going to happen after that? Yeah, if you ask me, Brooklyn's the real fart wad.
The timelines don't match up. They're reminiscing, talking about the good old days, and yet they're imagining wrestling in the Raw 1998 arena while in high school? The frame rate stinks. The lighting randomly changes. And why does the bully look like Bayley and Shayna Baszler if they perform fusion like Dragon Ball Z? There's also a part where the female protagonist is like, man, I dream of being Divas champion. Isn't it the women's championship now? Really? Really bad stuff here. In terms of customizations, it's relatively the same as last year. I chose to randomize because typically MyCareer isn't my favorite mode. I usually like universe mode or franchise mode. But man, I said, hey, I'll dive in. It's all about the women's revolution. Let's play as a female protagonist. And they just cast whoever plays this woman as the most unlikable person on planet Earth. And her boy Trey ain't any better either.
Man, the way you treat that thing, you'd think it was the Magnet Carta.
Did you say magnet?
Yeah, it's some really old, valuable magnet, right?
Just get it out of there.
We also have the 2K Showcase, which features the Four Horsewomen. The Man, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Bayley. As far as the actual game itself, you start off with Charlotte Flair versus Natalya for the vacant NXT Women's title. And I damn near turned off this mode from the beginning because apparently we now have revamped controls. Now, the controls, to me, just seem rearranged. They don't seem revamped, they just seem rearranged. They're very familiar, but they're even more of a pain in the butt. And why is that, Fred? It's because you can't do simple things. So, for example, they said in one of the objectives, do a backpack stunner. Now, I don't know what the hell a backpack stunner is, but I'm sure I could do it if I go to the menu, and it'll tell me how to do it, right? I'll just follow the directions. Press the left stick up, press X. You're good. No, I kept doing a suplex or some other random move. It wouldn't work. I kept trying over and over. I had to go to various forums, Reddit, all kinds of social media just to figure out if I'm an idiot or if everybody else is having the same problem. And evidently, everybody else is having the same problem. I eventually hit the backpack stunner, but then there was an objective that said, you gotta do a moonsault. So I go up top. I try to do a moonsault. I follow the directions. You go up top when there's a downed opponent, you press square, and I was doing a diving knee drop. And another diving knee drop. And another diving knee drop. And by the time I figured out, thanks to Reddit, as opposed to the actual game, that I have to run to the turnbuckle in order to flip backwards, my character, that being Charlotte, was completely fatigued and lost. This was not cool. If you can get past these obscene objectives that make it impossible, damn near impossible, just to do simple freaking moves, it's pretty enjoyable. But man, was this first match a chore.
Charlotte cutting Natalya off at the pass.
Just taking a beat to Natalya.
Shot like would make her dad proud. Ric Flair at ringside. Nate's just so proud he was about to get in the ring. Styling and profiling on the outside.
One thing that may be a chore, but it is a lot of fun, is 2K Towers mode, which does return this year. You've got a number of gauntlet-style matches, play as NXT UK characters, 205 Live, Legends, you name it, they got it. Male division, women's division, I dig it. It's a nice mode, and I'm glad they brought it back. We also have Universe mode, which has some new additions, including a whole lot of extra dialogue. That is, if it actually works, because while I was able to wrestle a number of different matches, you can now book more pay-per-view matches. When I went to select the Seth Rollins promo segment I was in, my PS4, well, the game itself actually, just straight up crashed, as you can see there. The other thing that's really annoying with this game is that it is outdated, and I know that's the case almost every single year, but you look at games like Madden, which added a Superstar Knockout mode. You look at NBA 2K. You look at all these different sports games that update their rosters and modes all throughout the year. Now, 2K does have some paid DLC you could get. You could pay extra and play as Bray Wyatt in a mask. What's you freaking do? But Bayley, still looking the same. Chad Gable ain't Shorty G. And probably the biggest oversight of all, and one that they had plenty of time to work in Universe mode, SmackDown is on Tuesday with the outdated logo and graphics. Oh yeah, and the outdated sets overall. You had a year. We knew for a year that SmackDown was moving to Fox on Friday nights. While it's cool that you can go to Community Creations and download all this current stuff, the onus should be on 2K not on the gamers, to resolve the outdated nature of this game. As for the rest of the gameplay, well, you have the multi-person matches, which are still glitchy as ever. Now with the quote-unquote revamped controls, there's a bit of a lag in the multi-man matches. So I'm trying to reverse this Rey Mysterio. I'm trying to throw a strike in this obnoxiously red Hell in a Cell, and there's just a delay. And sure, it's maybe a half-second delay, nothing too crazy, but all it takes is a half-second to get your butt whooped. Another thing, Kofi Kingston, WWE Champion, being announced as
The World Heavyweight Champion, Kofi Kingston!
we haven't even had the World Heavyweight Championship in existence for years now. Hey, on the bright side, though, you can play as a big head in big head mode, and the amount of effort they put into big head, they could have put it into the other game modes that are lacking. And you do also have mixed match challenge. So yes, you have intergender mixed match challenges now, and that's pretty cool. That's based on the Facebook show where a man and woman would team up, and if a man tags out, the woman comes in, another woman has to wrestle. It's pretty fun. It's pretty simple. I liked it. But man, there seems to be a whole lot of window dressing in this game. New menus, a few extra bells and whistles here and there. But much like the current WWE product, you can light it differently. You could change the sets. You could change the graphics. You could change the pyro. But at its core, the product is still flawed, and the same can be said for WWE 2K20. So what's the verdict? Graphically, I have to give this game a 4, and even that I feel like is grading on a curve. This is not PS4 level graphics. This is not PS3 level graphics. This is borderline PS2 level graphics, and it's absolutely inexcusable. I heard things like, oh, they got a new developer and Ukes isn't as involved. Who cares? Gamers don't care. When they're spending their hard-earned money, you better believe they want a finished product, a completed product, a reasonable product. It just embarrasses itself in a market full of games that at the very least look damn good and from this generation. Gameplay, I give it a 5. These revamped controls are more or less the same thing as last year's, and I've never had too much of an issue with the controls. They are a little annoying, the combinations, and you could tweak the settings, so it's not that bad. But the fact that there is lag, especially in multi-man matches, multi-woman matches, it just makes it equally as frustrating. And last time I checked, there's a lot of matches in WWE 2K that you have to play with multiple opponents and partners, and well, that does not make for a fun time. Content, I will give WWE 2K a 6 because there is still a whole lot to do, but good luck having fun doing it. I would love to say that at its core, WWE 2K is a fun game, but everything from the basic move objectives in the 2K showcase to the MyCareer with the awful dialogue, to the overall aesthetic that hurts your freaking eyes looking at it. It is a chore, but if you can get through some of the flaws, or a lot of the flaws, there is a lot to do, and it will certainly take up a lot of your time, for better or worse. Overall, TSC gives WWE 2K20 Standard Edition on the PS4 a 5 out of 10. Buy this at your own risk. If you're somebody that wants to buy this, be my guest. We have an Amazon link in the description if you want to click to buy that game on your platform of your choice. But buyer, be warned. Keep in mind, we'll also be doing an in-depth review of WWE 2K20 on the Xbox One Deluxe Edition, so stay tuned for that. Until next time, folks, if you enjoyed this review, like, share, take care. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications for more updates like this. And until next time, as always, enjoy the games, unless you run into a glitch.
I think business is about to pick up. Had it scouted.